Hey everyone, and welcome back. Segment number 3, I'm Jennifer Fierro, your broad podcaster here in the Highland Lakes, with Art Dlugach, the voice of the Llano Yellow Jackets. We have already covered our 3 11-man football teams. We covered the Yellow Jackets in the first segment. Then we went to Burnett County, Marble Falls, and Burnett High Schools in the second segment. In this segment, we are going to be talking about the 6-man teams in Burnett County, Smoking for Jesus and Faith Academy. I've got great news for the fans of those two teams. Both teams have won their district championships.
All right.
So, Smoking for Jesus ended up beating Bulverde Gloria Deo Academy. And let me find it in my mess of notes here. 36-34 on Friday night.
Good game.
And it really was. That came down to let me think. The Eagles had the ball late. They had to punt. There was enough time for one play. Coach Frazier said that he called a timeout, and he went over every detail of what needed to happen on that punt and how to cover it. Benjamin Frazier runs down there. As soon as the punt returner catches the ball, he gets tackled. Because you can't fair catch it, there's no time left. So he preserves the victory with that particular tackle, and that's a three-peat, I believe, of district championships
I think so.
for the Eagles. And now, because they are part of the Texas Association of Independent Athletic Organizations, they get 2 weeks off. So they are not expected to start the playoffs until the weekend of November 19th, right now. Now, I do know that Coach Frazier was on the hunt to do a warm-up game for November 4th, but he for sure was not going to play the following week on November 11th.
No.
That's not going to happen. So we will, if that game happens, if he is able to find a warm-up game, we'll write something up on TexasChalkTalk.com and let you know. Okay, I do want to make mention of Isaac Leger, the outstanding dual-threat quarterback. He had moved up in the national rankings on passing for MaxPreps.com to number 25. I don't know what it is this week after the 9th or the 10th game of the season for them. Let me give you his stats. He has completed 108 of 175 attempts for 1,732 yards, 27 touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah, oh yeah. He has 75 rushes for 1,088 yards and 17 touchdowns. So, again, 2 weeks off right now, as it stands, for the Eagles. If that changes, we will update you on Texas Chalk Talk.
So he's accounted for over something like 45 touchdowns. Wow.
Yeah, I would love to see what he could do against some of the 11-man teams.
I knew you were heading there.
Yeah, I'd love to see that because I think he might be the most complete football player individually. No disrespect to Carson Kirkendall at Llano. No disrespect to Grant Jones at Burnett. I would love to see what he could do on an 11-man team. I really would. I really, really would. The coaches that I talked to who have had to defend Isaac have told me they have never seen a 6-man player offensively like him. He is in a category by himself.
Highest praise.
You bet. And I talked to a lot of different 6-man coaches. So, yeah, he's up there. Okay. Faith Academy also won its district championship, but that's because there was a very important win over on Saturday that Faith was not a part of the game, and that was that Temple Holy Trinity ended up losing, and I've got it written down somewhere. Bear with me. They ended up losing, Round Rock Concordia beat Temple Holy Trinity 56-40. Because of that, Temple Holy Trinity is eliminated from playoff contention because in that district they only take 2 teams, and that gives Faith the district championship since mathematically Temple Holy Trinity can't catch them. Had Temple Holy Trinity beaten Concordia, they would have come to Britton Field in Marble Falls at Faith with a shot at winning the district if they could beat Faith and then taking one of those two playoff spots and eliminating the Flames from contention. The loss to Concordia is a game changer. Game changer for Temple Holy Trinity and for the Flames.
Well, congratulations to Coach Shipley because I hate to use this word, I rarely do. It was supposed to be a rebuilding year. They were having their ups and their downs with each Friday night or Saturday afternoon. And here they are, district champions. That's just fantastic.
Fantastic.
And the same goes for Coach Frazier, too.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. There's no question. The teams in Burnett County have faced adversity. I don't know that you can prepare your kids for the adversity they were facing. I know for sure Smoking for Jesus, Marble Falls, and Faith Academy all were projected to be rebuilds this season. Faith Academy and Smoking for Jesus, to their credit, their coaches and players rallied. They got some things talked about, communicated, really laid some things out during some crucial bye weeks earlier in the season, had some heart-to-hearts. Give those players and their coaches credit for addressing some things at a point where it felt like there were some crossroads and some things needed to happen. The other thing, and I remember Coach Shipley saying this, because Faith Academy's had 2 byes this season. During the first bye, he told the kids, and it happened during the retreat. Faith Academy had a retreat, so they were gone from school on a Monday and a Tuesday. The kids left, and Stephen told them, I want you to go. Don't even think about football. We'll talk again the Wednesday you come back. And that's when they had some hard conversations and some heart-to-hearts. But they fixed it. They addressed it. And in order to keep their season on track, you saw a lot of maturity because it's not easy, I'm sure, to have conversations with your players and coaches. I'm sure that it's not easy to have some things said. It's certainly not easy to have to hear them. But give those teams credit for being mature enough to hear it and then to address it and then to either make changes, to change the things that need to be changed, to keep doing the things that are working well and then taking it another step and picking up that intensity and that focus more.
Wish I could have had a couple of retreats when I was in high school, I'll tell you. I would have loved that, but go ahead. I couldn't have played football, but the retreats would have been fine.
Yeah, you bet. You bet. Faith Academy will be hosting their last regular season game against Round Rock Concordia Friday night. That's either a 7 or 7:30 kickoff. I believe that's a 7 o'clock kickoff. At Britton Field, it's been 7 o'clock all season. I'd be surprised if that changes. I'll have that on TexasChalkTalk.com. Do you have anything you want to say?
So when does their playoffs begin? The following week? Or
no, because
that's also 2 weeks.
Because Faith will, since they're going
They
into
get a bye.
Yes, they're the district champs. They get a bye, and then they get to host their first playoff game.
Great.
Now, they should get a bye sometimes, depending on how TAPS officials make the bracket. Sometimes the team that they're facing will also have a bye, and the 2 teams may end up playing each other the following week, which would be November 11th, and then take the bye after that. So it will really come down to who they play. Haven't had a chance to talk to Coach Shipley about that yet, but when I do, TexasChalkTalk.com. That will give you the answer.
So we've got 3 district champions in the area with Llano and the 2 6-man teams, Smoking for Jesus and Faith Academy.
Yes.
And hopefully Burnett will edge into the playoffs also.
Yes, and that would be incredible because just like last year, the Highland Lakes will have 4 of its 5 football teams in the playoffs. And you can't ask for anything better than that. That will be a trend. I know that certainly was the trend in 2020 as well, with the Mustangs qualifying for the playoffs. Llano was in there, one of the best teams, I think, of all time in the history of that program.
13 wins.
Yeah, Smoking for Jesus got in, and so did Faith Academy in 2020 as well. And, of course, they had the COVID issue to deal with at that time. So lots to look forward to here in a lot of games that truly matter in Week 11.
All right.
Okay. Briefly, do you want to talk about some of the things that are happening in the Big 12 this week?
Well, I'll go over this. If we run out of time, tell me. But the shocker was Kansas State playing a very good Oklahoma State team and only winning 48-0. 1 point fewer than was scored by Texas against the other Oklahoma team, the Sooners. So nobody expected that at all. Kansas State is awfully good. Nobody thought they were that good or that Oklahoma State could be beaten that badly. So this week, Texas has to go to Manhattan and play Kansas State, and that should be a very good game, but a very tough one for the Longhorns, who are 5-3. They had this past weekend off.
Yeah, and K-State will be motivated. They've got a shot at playing for the Big 12 championship.
Yes.
That I expect Kansas State will play very, very well.
TCU, another great story. 8-0. Sonny Dykes is the first coach in the Big 12 to go 8-0 his first season as a coach of a Big 12 school. So they've just been outstanding, ranked 7th in the country. He's an outside shot at Coach of the Year nationally, I believe. Iowa State was beaten by Oklahoma, 27-14, I believe was the score. And Iowa State now 3-5 with 5 consecutive losses. Not at all what a lot of people thought of Matt Campbell and his team, but they have just really been on hard times. Baylor with a big win at Lubbock, 45-17. Now 5-3. One more win to clinch bowl eligibility.
Wow. Okay. I think we are out of time. For Art Dlugach, I'm Jennifer Fierro, your broad podcaster here in the Highland Lakes. Please go to TexasChalkTalk.com for all of your local sports news. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and share the channel.